Okay, well, this is just a quick test of a setup that I've building here for a fella. It's basically wants to be able to run a mini flash with 4 1-watt LEDs connected to all 4 channels, and also a mini beacon that has a 1-watt LED connected. These are basically wired together, but instead of connecting directly back to the receiver with your plus, minus, and signal wires, basically there's a voltage regulator in line between the two, and basically all that does is it does pass the signal to both of these guys so they could be controlled on or off, but instead of providing the power from the battery, which in some cases could be more than 6 volts, this here regulator just makes sure it regulates it down to the 6 volts that both of these controllers need. So anyways, just as a quick test, I programmed the mini flash so that there's 2 channels that are constantly on, but of course they're switchable on and off, and I've got a program so that it uses channel 5, which is my gear switch here. I'll be plugging it into it's plugged into channel 5 here. I just haven't supplied power yet. And there's 2 solid on lights, and then there's 2 flashing strobes. That's the way I got this programmed. And I've got it programmed so that everything is off when the switch is off, or all the patterns are on when I have the switch on. And the same thing happens to the mini beacon too. That will turn on and off also with that same switch. So let's power it up here, see what happens. As soon as you power it up, the mini beacon boots up a lot quicker, but the mini flash takes a little while, so you just got to give it time. But if you know you've got everything connected correctly, as soon as you power up the mini flash, all LEDs should flash real quick. If you don't see that flash, you got something wired up improperly in reverse power or something, and you should definitely pull power off and double check your wiring. So anyways, I'm gonna plug it in here, and you'll see all these LEDs light. Here we go. So they just flash once. I've got the switch off on the transmitter right now, but anyways, it takes about 6 seconds for it to boot up. That last flash right there means it's ready. If you had the switch on, they'll be flashing the rates, but right now I do have the switch off, which is back, so you can see. Oops. So you can see all LEDs are off, and if I hit the switch on, you can see the mini beacon does its thing with the ramp up, ramp down, and also you got the 2 solid on lights, and then you've got these 2 strobes just alternating. You can program it for whatever you want though. You could have them all flashing, but anyways, the customer here wanted 2 channels that were always on. I guess they're for marker lights. So if I turn it off, you'll see all of them turn off again, including the mini beacon. Turn it back on. There's the strobe on the right, the 2 solids in the middle, and then the 2 left strobing back and forth. Turn it off. And there you have it. But the key is this regulator. You cannot run these controllers from anything more than about 6.2 volts. So if you're using like a lithium ion, in particular a LiPo battery, but some people are using 2-cell lithium ions and they're about 6.6 volts, sometimes a little more charge. That's just a little too much for these controllers. They don't have built-in regulators, so hence I'm using one here to regulate power for both controllers. So there it is. I'm just going to tidy up the wiring here, shrink wrap this guy, and send this out to the customer. Off, on, and off. That's it.